as far as the NEWA goes and the history of the NEWA, I guess it's kind of hard to say exactly when it started. As far as filming goes, the first matches were filmed in summer of 1973 or 74. I think I started wrestling in 71 when I started associating with Bob Stephenson.
We did 3 individual wrestling matches in the early 70s one summer, and they were all on 8mm film. And then we picked up again about 5 years ago, and since then we've done 5 more. So I would call the latest one Wrestling Production Mark 8.
Some of the wrestlers skinned their knees on these mats and got some burns, and that's where the name Matt Burns comes from. That's my other identity, is play-by-play announcer Matt Burns.
I had a friend of mine named Randy CARR that happened to know Macho Bob, and I kind of forced my way in, actually. On a couple wrestling buses, I got obnoxious and outrageous, and just body slammed a few people and broke dance at the Civic Center and posed down against a couple Korean kids, and next thing you know, I was a member of the NEWA. They must have liked what they saw.
As far as NEWA wrestlers that are wrestling currently, Bob Stephenson is one. He's, of course, the founder and creator. He's a water meter reader for the city of Minneapolis.
Disco Rick Escola, is a practicing attorney. Dan Moore, Shorty Cullums, works at Coca-Cola. Randy CARR, Matt Burns, goes to school for video and has a fine future in the world of video.
There's Jim Hamilton, who's the Sheik. He's a letter carrier, I think, for the post office. Scott, I didn't see it, Schneider, the referee, works in a hair salon.
Roger Stephenson is an engineer at Honeywell. Killer Paul Carr is an accountant. The Mass Scooter, we're not sure what the Mass Scooter does, but he sure is short.
Kevin O'Rourke, the Fighting Irishman. I think he has a sales job for somebody. The proprietor of the Holy Dome, or the person who lives there, is Dennis Arms, and of course he is as important as anybody, because without his cooperation we wouldn't be in the Holy Dome taping, and it's really an excellent facility for taping. It's so wide open, you can get a ring in there and have room for people. And of course, being indoors, you don't have to worry about elements, and we can get lights in there, and it works out really well. And we can tape in the winter.
The first production I saw was at McNamara's Bar, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thought it was humorous. Humor is a hard thing to accomplish. They did it. They had a good script, good talent, and they didn't have the technical expertise, and I thought I could help out in that area.
Then what we did after we finally got the 2 frames together, anchored them about 2 feet apart. Then we take it and we put in our ring posts, which we now we bolt our ring posts in, and we cross bolt them. So now by cross bolting it, the ring post can take a shock from either way. It can take a wrestler smashing into it, or else, like you've seen in our last production, Macho Bob actually getting up on top of the ring post and jumping off the top rope. Never been done in the NEWA before. And this is all by bolting it in and anchoring it to the outside, which is the outer ring, gave us that dimension of bolting it down and anchoring it to the outer part. After we got that done came laying down the 4x8 plywood pieces that actually made our matte surface. So once we laid down the plywood, what we had to do to connect them is we took, I think it was 6-inch pine boards, and they weren't very strong, but they were strong enough to just band the plywood together. After that, we were pretty much done, and then Tommy Vecchio came in and polished her off.
It's got to be my favorite thing about the NEWA is people just come along and all of a sudden they're volunteering their services that they could get paid good money for. Tom Vecchio lays carpeting as a side job, and basically he turns down most jobs because he wants to spend more time with his family and various reasons like that. But he put at least 6 hours into carpeting our ring. Did it for free, and that just adds to the fun of the whole thing.
Generally, rehearsals for these tapes, for these productions, are a couple days before. In the case of the Pearl Harbor Day Spectacular, the matches were Saturday, the rehearsal was the Wednesday previously. We will get in the ring and we'll go through the match, what's to be done, several times. And it's very important to do that because there's a lot of moves, there's a lot of things to remember, and we want everything to be just right for the production. And in order to make sure it is, we just have to practice. It's like anything else. If you want to be good at it, you got to practice.
The people follow the scripts. We do the moves. We practice them. We have a rehearsal. It's really well done. It's not really what I'd call. There's never any fear while I'm in a match that I feel that I'm actually going to get hurt because the other guy doesn't know what he's doing.
We go at it very seriously, and we want to make sure everything is just right. To some people, we may look like a bunch of crazy guys goofing off, but there's a lot of serious work involved.
On rehearsal night, the wrestlers came in, went through the script, all their moves, and they just about one time covered it, except for the more difficult maneuvers they had to go through a few times. But what can I say, they're experienced.
Every production since, well, the very first ones in the backyard, every production has improved since then, and the Pearl Harbor Day Spectacular was no exception. It has improved in many ways. The lighting, as I've mentioned, is one way that it's improved.
We had a lot more light. We had 5 1,000-watt scoop lights suspended above the ring and 2 fill lights on the floor. So we had a total of 8,000 watts. And it would have been nice to have a little more. We can never have enough light.
Well, I work out on the Nautilus equipment 3 days a week, and I do a bit of running in the summer, and you got to be in a little bit of a shape, I guess. We have been lucky so far. Nobody's really gotten hurt too bad.
It only lasts for about 2.5 minutes, but flinging around that ring is what it's all about. So it makes it all worthwhile.
I liked not so much a hold, but the maneuver. I liked Killer CARR being sacrificed under the brutality of Macho Bob. That cheap shot bringing in the chair, no call for that. Poor Killer.
When we had our world's premiere of it, one of our world's premieres, and showed it down at Tony Jarris's River Gardens in Nordeast, Minneapolis, we had, I'd estimate 150 people in the bar that were watching it at that time. We must have, at this moment, 15 to 20 copies of our tapes. Let me correct that. 15 to 20 different people have got copies of our tapes. Whether they may have more than one copy, they may have copies of several productions. But I think that our viewership is growing one way or another. I think there have been a lot of people that have seen this latest production, probably 10 times as many as any other production that we've made.
You know, it's kind of a status symbol having your own wrestling rink. I enjoyed it. My friends were impressed.
Our goal, and it's been agreed among the guys, that the best thing we can do is to improve every time one way or another. Hopefully we'll hold a card within the next year again, and we plan on crowning a singles champ, which we've never had. We plan on improving our wrestling, improving our humor, improving our technology, which has stepped up every time, and hopefully maybe going a little more public with it, and seeing if we can just even have that much more fun than we've had in the past.
And we all sat around afterwards and we watched the production and had a few beers and a few laughs, and really, you know, that's what it's all about, is fun.
One thing I think that all us wrestlers in the NEWA have in common is that we are wrestling fans. We're from the same part of town. We have a sense of humor, and we're a little bit crazy.
One thing I'd have to say is that's a big kick is all the people that I've met through this thing. And everybody that I've met so far through the NEWA has been a real good person and a nice person to know, and a lot of them I consider real close friends.
All I can say is that all we've ever done with the NEWA is have fun. And I would say that's what the future holds for the NEWA. We're going to continue to do things that are just going to be for fun. We're going to continue to try to improve what we're doing. We're going to try to vary what we do to keep it interesting. And basically that's it in a nutshell. We're going to try to continue having a great time and keeping this hobby exactly where it's at, and that is a group of friends having fun. Thank you much.